Chat, as you might have saw this past week, we saw the end of Overwatch League and it went out to the farm. And a couple teams came out and talked about what their plans are and things that they're doing, and how they want to move forward. And I want to highlight one of the better teams of Atlanta Reign, saying it's an amazing 5 years and it's been a wild ride. Today we announce with a heavy heart that Atlanta Esports Venture will be parting ways with the Overwatch League and our incredible players, coaches, and staff. Words cannot express what an incredible journey the past 5 years have been for the Atlanta Reign franchise. However, this is far from the end of our commitment to esports, and we're excited to see what comes next for AEV and our fans. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans. Thanks for the memories. GG. Let it rain. Hashtag straight fire. Chat, how long do you think this graphic took to make? Probably not very long, right? They probably already had the template. They just had to plug it in, say thanks to the fans. 20 minutes, maybe 30 at most. You gotta get it approved. Probably didn't take too long. This is a good example of, hey guys, we gotta ride off into the sunset. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We want to maybe do more Overwatch esports in the future, etc. But then, there's some other teams that decided not to go this route. So if you thought the Defiant dick thing was bad, oh, that got swept under the rug so fast because the Houston Outlaws found a way to top it and make it worse. Remember about this tweet about saying thanks to your fans, etc.? Yeah, Houston Outlaws didn't do that. This is what they dropped instead, was this video. No, it's not 2 dicks. Honestly, 2 dicks would have been better than this. I'll just let you watch.
First, let me say thank you for coming.
Now that the Overwatch League is officially over, I'm sure you have many, many questions.
Could they have maybe toned it down with the flashes too? Like, the flashes are so f***ing annoying. So, like, maybe if you have, like, epilepsy warning, maybe, like, turn things off for a little bit. I'll let you, just put it on audio only. I'll tell you when it's done, okay? Just do that. All right, we're good?
Let's start with this. We're no longer competing in the Overwatch League.
Did you guys, what's happening here? Do you see what happens on the screen?
In the Overwatch.
Like, that's not me. That's the video.
With this. We're no longer competing in the Overwatch League.
Pulsating.
But that doesn't mean Outlaws is done. We're shifting our focus to content and entertainment.
Jump! Any comment on grand final? Never mind.
Bijou! Will there be any Outlaws esports in the future?
We're not ruling anything out yet.
Why move into this entertainment direction?
Look, we love esports, but we're looking to evolve into our next step.
Wait, did they actually... Hang on. Did they even say at the beginning that they're going into the content space? Or did they just, start assuming it? I just realized... I know in the future that that's what they said. Oh, did they? I didn't even hear it.
Over here! What does this mean for the Outlaws roster?
I was too busy getting
We have always
flashbacks.
strived to have the best talent in the game. Starting fresh isn't going to be easy for the rookie squad.
Hey, we worked our asses off for this.
Brought to you by Ghost Energy Drinks.
Don't blow it.
Okay, let's bring out our 3 new members.
Hi, everyone!
Let's go! That's some new Outlaws in town, baby!
So these are their new content creators that they hired. Nothing against them. It's not their fault. But I don't know who any of these people are. And this is supposed to be an Overwatch League, it's not their fault, but we'll get there in a minute. Just in case you're confused, like, huh? What's happening? We'll get there.
All right, any questions?
Okay, so they dropped this, right? Now, I want to refer back really quickly that this was a good example of how to say goodbye to your fans. There was no goodbye for the Outlaws, teams, players, nothing. They just dropped this. Now, you could objectively argue that going into content's not a bad idea because esports is kind of falling apart right now. But just it's such a weird way to do it. Like, why would you do it like that? Because your org has been built on Overwatch, one, you don't say goodbye to your fans. You don't even say thank you for your support. You just immediately try to jump to like, almost like, kind of feels like phase hype house type of deal, you know? Like, it doesn't feel Overwatchy. And then we find out later on that all the creators they sign, none of them are actually Overwatch creators. They play like Call of Duty and whatnot, which I understand, but like, it's just like, what, this is such a weird transition. So this is posted on Esports GG. Houston Outlaws pivots to become Outlaws Entertainment, a Gen Z talent and content agency. I feel like if you label yourself a Gen Z anything, you're setting yourself up for failure. You know? Like, this is like what big corpa people at their desk talk about. Like the fucking the 62-year-old CEO is like, we need to push our numbers higher. How do we interact with the young ones? We don't have many
players be your writers.
We don't have young watchers or people that are buying our stuff. How do we interact with Gen Z? Like, okay, that's kind of weird, but all right. Houston Outlaws is pivoting to become a Gen Z content company known as Outlaws Entertainment following their exit from Overwatch League. So, let's just keep reading. As a reaction to the fall of Overwatch League and a rapidly changing media landscape, Houston Outlaws has announced their new direction of Outlaws Entertainment. Outlaws Entertainment will see the former Overwatch League esports org transition to more broadly focus heavily on entertainment and gaming. In a mock press conference video, Outlaws confirmed their departure from the Overwatch League and announced a new focus around 4 young Outlaws creators: Carlos Ivan, Tori Majin, and So Daisy. Can I also say, did you guys like forget you have joystick? Did you get like, where did you put him? You know what I mean? Like, he's your only Overwatch creator, and like, you had a chance, right? Like, there was like a small chance that you could have pulled, you know, but you didn't even. And it, like, no offense, it kind of reeks of nepotism, and I think that's what most people have picked up on. The organization will also be launching 4 brand new YouTube channels, mixing Overwatch legacy content with reacts, let's plays, and entertainment and lifestyle content. In essence, Outlaws Entertainment is a reimaging of the brand to not be so hyper-focused on competitive Overwatch and esports, but instead widen the net to also create content with more mass appeal. You can do that without burning your whole fan base. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to light them all on fire. Like, that's just such a bad idea. Esports GG spoke to Lori Burgess, COO of Outlaws Entertainment, about the Overwatch League, the company's new direction, and their goals in the rest of 2023 and beyond. By the way, every Overwatch League team that took the deal got $6 million. So, like, they're not starting off, like, in the hole. They're starting off with a $6 million chunk of cash, right? And that's if, like, everything else got taken away. Yeah, basically, though, they kind of f***ed up. A lot of people kind of like instantly responded with like this, what kind of like what's going on type of deal, right? And I don't really want to scroll through Twitter because that's kind of a really scary idea to do on stream. But a lot of people were not happy. And so they've just been kind of posting the whole way through, you know, reposting their creators and whatnot, which, by the way, again, it is not their fault. It is not these people's fault that they got signed, okay? It is the org's fault, and it is the people that are in power over there that are actually kind of set them all up for failure, right? And so they've been going through, and now you see like all these tweets and whatever. You can go back and find this, right? If you want. They agreed to being a part of it, though. Yeah, but like that's not their fault, though. That like them signing to like an Overwatch, like a former Overwatch League org as a creator in a different game isn't their fault. Like the org should know. We shouldn't be doing that, right? So it's kind of fucked up, right? The point is, though, the reason I was showing you all these tweets, I'm not going to scroll through every single one of them, but you'll see there's a lot of replies, okay? Outlaws Nation, we've been listening. Your survey responses will serve as our compass guiding our content journey. Be on the lookout for more Overwatch 2 content along with Valorant, COD, Fortnite, and more. Stay tuned because the Outlaws experience is going to keep getting better. So then Bad Pachimari, he says, my DMs are open. Should you need any suggestions for Overwatch content creators that'll help grow this phase of Outlaws brand? Alternatively, I do have a production group with BPL, Bad Power Mario League, that has hosted multiple tournaments at varying scales for the pro scene as one last hurrah. Can we even use it as a place to intro your new creators? Just offering anything that lets your brand keep any goodwill within the 146,000 fans that followed you in the first place. To my knowledge, no reply. BP, one of the nicest dudes in this community. So here's the problem. People have been just dunking on them. And it gets worse. And I wish I had I really wish I had took screenshots for you guys. But my whole Twitter feed was just full of like mutuals or other friends of mutuals getting blocked. And whoever is running the Outlaws social media account has just been blocking people on cooldown. So anyone who's gone in on any of these tweets and replied with something like, your followers are dropping, or whatever it ends up being, they block them. They just straight up block them. So, as you see, like, obviously they've been pumping out, like, tons of content on, like, their posts or whatever. Also, no shade at this guy, but I've seen this guy, like, kind of fighting with people in the comments. Like, hey, if you ever see this, like, hey, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Like, it's not your fault, but, like, don't go picking fights. That's just kind of weird. Like, these people are upset for good reason. The ones you no longer care about, so Overwatch. Seems like you guys don't care about Overwatch, not your content. Yeah, they're just basically just shitting on them the entire way through. And the same thing happens all the way through. So then they start trying to retweet Joystick a little bit more. I think they ended up deleting some of them, but they ended up putting out these like graphics of their new creators, and they're very weird, right? So if you see over here on the side, like people are replying with like their Twitter metrics of like the unfollow count, and it's like dropping really quick. But yeah, and like this is nothing against them, but like what the is this, right? Question: reason to be creative, or reason to create? Being creative. Favorite social? TikTok. Favorite show? Cabranier of the Iron Fortress. Okay. Favorite games? Kingdom Hearts. Okay. Like what is going on over here? Like, what's going on? You know? And it's like, it's not this person's fault. It's like, what is the brand fucking doing? It's like, they're out of control. They're just being rode into the ground. So it continues on for the last few days. And by the way, this is all over just this weekend. To then 5 hours ago, which this pops up. But before I go over this, I want to point this out, that Warren tweeted this. And he says, Aspen and I sat in a call with the Outlaws a few months ago, showing interest in working with them as content creators, but they chose this alternative. The opportunity was there, embarrassing. Which, to be fair, as a, quote, Gen Z talent and content agency, I feel like Aspen and Warren kind of fit that. Like, hey, like, they're kind of just Gen Z memers. Like, that's just what they are. Like, it's, hey, it is what it is, right? And I know this is true. Because Warren came to me and talked to me about it months ago. And there's a reason why I'm going to tell you that. And it said, transitioning to content makes perfect sense, but slapping the Overwatch community's Overwatch community in the face just reeks. So somebody tweeted at Warren and says, this is like someone that works for the Outlaws, says, what's funny about this is it's 100% not true. When was a few months ago? And who had conversations given the fact that I have controlled the Outlaws talent for the past 2 years? Warren responds and says, Outlaws told us to contact Sean Taylor, who told us to contact Lord Enzo, who then tried to push Outlaws funding into Juggernaut. None of what I said is untrue, and it's insane how out of touch their staff is. Holy f***. Then Warren comes in with the fucking receipts. Taylor was the best point of contact, right? And it's like they're out thinking, it's like, for any creator signings, yes, that would be the best point of contact. Then it's an email from them. It's like, House Outlaws and creators, Warren Aspen, sorry for the delay. You could add Lord Enzo on Discord and send him over your portfolios, please. Thanks. And then the next one is, let me know if you need anything else, or will this suffice? Thanks, man. Appreciate you sending these things. And there's dates on these, by the way. And I know these are true because this is when he came to me and he asked me about my Overwatch League experience. Newsflash, I told him probably stay away because one, all the Overwatch League teams are broke. And two, I worked with what I would say was probably the best two Overwatch League teams to work with, Mayhem and Shock. And Mayhem was so good to me, and they were so honest with me. But at the end of the day, they just didn't have the money. They just didn't have it anymore. I was trying to tell Warren, I was like, hey, man, I don't even know if it's a good idea. But hey, it looks like it didn't even have to matter because they dropped the ball. Said, we'll keep you posted, we'll review tonight. And then the last screenshot, hey Warren, could you and Aspen possibly do a 2:30 EST today? Also, here's the meeting, team meetings link, and it's like a link to it. Yeah, they tried to say Warren was lying, but he's not, which is fucking hilarious. Then Aspen tweets this out, and it says, Outlaws dodged a bullet not signing me, LOL. It's a clip for falling off the fucking map.
Chat, it's like they stand up and they go like, whoo, whoo,
Cringe
with
is
their hands.
how
They go
I
like,
get my
"Oh,
dopamine.
oh." The next one is gonna be another wiener. I'm calling it, bro.
Jesus Christ, I'm scared to go any further now, Aspen. What the f? But anyways, yeah, they haven't been having a good time. They haven't been having a good time over there. So then today, they put out this statement, Outlaws Nation. It's clear that the new direction of the organization comes as a surprise to many of you. The decision to move on to dedicated content creation was not something we took lightly. Okay, that's a weird way to start that. I don't think that's what people's problem was, but let's continue. The Outlaws as an organization was incredibly dedicated to the Overwatch League and to our fans. However, with the dissolution of the league, which was not our decision, wow, the fact that that's there in parentheses is wild. Because that's like kind of sassy, you know what I mean? Like that's me if I'm fighting with chat, you know what I mean? Like if I'm fighting my YouTube chat or my Twitch chat or my TikTok, that's me. Like I'm fighting with you. But I am not like a professional organization. I'm just a streamer and I'm memeing and we're going back and forth. This is like a PR statement and you threw this in. That's a big monka W. We had to decide whether to stay together and forge a new direction as Outlaws or dissolve along with the Overwatch League. Content Entertainment, so this is probably like the owner. So if the owner of the Overwatch League is, or the Outlaws is still the same one, I think it's like Beasley Media Group. I don't know if that's still totally true. Someone had to fact check me on that. But I bet they have like no f***ing, they're just like, you guys stay over there. Content Entertainment are not new to us and serve as an avenue we see as a natural brand extension and connection to the larger gaming community. Again, the problem wasn't going to content. And even in their statement, they're basically saying, oh, you guys are surprised we're trying to blend with the rest of the gaming community. That was not the problem, jackass. Like, we are thankful for all the fans who have supported us. Oh, finally a thanks. Fans get thanked 4 days later. Throughout the years, we have expressed excitement for our next chapter. Outlaws is a brand that wants to entertain and bring laughter into people's lives. We wish the entire community well and understand that our new content and approach will not appeal to everyone. What? And that is okay. But we will not be an organization that condones hatred and bullying. Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. Whether it's directed towards our creator, staff, or other fans, that's all very true. Our world needs to and deserves better. That's 1000% true. Thank you for being a part of Outlaws Nation. Everyone is welcome to join us in what comes next. Dude, you fucking missed. You guys were blocking your fans. Anyone who has said anything bad about the org, not targeting creators, because people that are targeting the creators, okay, they're a little bit fucked up. You know what I mean? Like that's not cool. But like people that are targeting the brand and your decisions and the way you're going, that's absolutely their rights. That's absolutely their rights. You know? It's like, what are you guys doing over there? Like, what's going on? They weren't mad about the content of going towards content creation. They're mad that you're trying to drop all Overwatch stuff. Period. It's like, we don't give a f about Overwatch fans. You didn't thank your players. You didn't thank your coaches. You didn't have any way to move on from it. You don't want to look towards Overwatch because, if anything, you might not think that it's something that's of value. And even far beyond that, it's not like you guys signed like Pokimane. It's not like you guys went out and signed like a bunch of like Call of Duty creators that like are really, really well known and like you threw a bag at them and you went off, right? A lot of these creators are very, very small, and there's nothing wrong with signing small creators. Nobody's saying that, but it smells like nepotism because there's a history of like content houses and like all being friends, and it's like you can't build a streaming and content org off of nepotism, and it's just like, you know, people are pulling receipts of videos that are done from different people, and it's like you're tearing these people apart for no reason because you guys didn't want to do this the right way. You guys just wanted to just jump ship and use the Outlaws brand as a springboard. That's weird. what's nepotism? Nepotism is when basically you don't hire somebody on the merits of the person or the human being. You hire it because you know them. AKA, well, let's say like my dad works for NVIDIA, right? And I know absolutely all about making NVIDIA graphics cards, but my friend's dad works there and we're cool, we're homies, and he gets me a job there, right? Because I'm friends with him or I was friends with this kid, right? The dad brings you in. That's nepotism, right? So in this case, it's like they didn't like they might not. I'm not saying this is true, but it feels like this to people. They're like, oh, you guys have been friends for a long time. You guys don't know each other or whatever. Like it smells like nepotism, right? Like you didn't bring these people in on their merit. You brought them in because you're friends with them, and that's weird, especially when you just dump your entire fan base and organization. And this just reeks. It reeks, dude, because this doesn't even acknowledge the fact that that people are mad about you leaving Overwatch and like dumping everybody behind to try to chase something else. You just say, well, you guys are mad at us for going for content. No! That's not what they were mad about! This was just like, this is like a textbook case of like not what to do. So, I don't know. It's only been like 2 or 3 days, so this car crash might get even worse. But yeah, really, really sad. Really kind of shows you the true colors of a lot of Overwatch League teams and, you know, like orgs and etc. It's like they never even gave a about their fans, you know? They never gave a they were just a number to them. And whoever they handed the keys to clearly just wants to use it to pile or jump to another game or try to springboard content and clout. And it's really, really fucking sad to see because fans did not deserve this. And everybody knows I'm not the biggest Overwatch League fan, but I feel for you. You did not deserve this. It's really sad that they did this because they squandered a lot of legacy of a lot of players that really built this organization up. And I think people forget, and I think the people that are running this forget at the end of the day, your players, your coaches, your fans made your organization. You didn't make your organization. And to piss on them and kick them to the curb is sad. So, you know, if you're going to put out another press release, I hope the next one apologizes in that way because that's truly what went wrong. So, this is why I loved Mayhem, dude. Excited to announce the newest member of the Mayhem family. Please welcome Iguana. And does it look familiar? Why? Florida Mayhem. I am a lizard. Favorite food? Bug. Dream vacation? Sunny Rock. Favorite celebrity? Martin from Geico. God, I f***ing love Mayhem, dude. Oh, man. When I tell you they were good to work with, I mean it. So, these Outlaws blocked me because I quote retweeted their graphic stat that had a typo, LOL. Blocked. Wait, doesn't this person do former observer, game admin, and instant replay of the Overwatch League? Nah, there's no way you guys went out and were blocking people that worked in These people fucking spectated! They were the camera people for your fucking org! What? Nah, that's, dude, and that's just because, and I'm only getting these because, like, people are starting to send them in as we're going through this. My God, this is so sad. Oh, Lennon was oh, I forgot about this one. I forgot to show you guys this one before. I got too caught up, but Lennon's tweeted this out earlier. We're still not sure what the future holds for us. But we can promise 2 things. 1, we will never use AI art for an announcement. 2, we will never become a content creator org. Oh yeah, but basically, yeah, I tweeted out yesterday. I have social media for 1 full day, come back, and a rusher is blocked by the Outlaws. What happened? And then BP gave us a whole breakdown. Outlaws switched to an entertainment company with a focus on Zoomer content. They didn't give a proper formal goodbye or thanks for their players. Instead of it was thrown away and a skit sort of dismissing it, they lost all goodwill of their fans by signing people not really known to Outlaws fans, one of which has already called people fake fans for not living in Texas. Wait, what? The irony is that Outlaws already tried making their entertainment group this past year with Juggernaut, but it barely got any growth. The only notable moment they had this year was when they were doing a watch party and made a tweet against the Florida Mayhem GM, who proceeded to clap back plus with results. All in all, it seems they care little about the 140,000 people that followed the Outlaws, treating it like an account that just bought followers off and moving on. Some blocks are valid as people are going after these new creators that didn't really have the control. Some of them are just not wanting any criticism against the new direction they're going in. Damn, dude.